Hi everyone, this is Ramkrishna. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss CSIR NET December 2019 complex analysis question number 17 from part B, 3 marks question. And the question is, consider the polynomial f of z is equals to z square plus az plus p to the power 11, where a belongs to z minus singleton 0 and p greater than or equals to 13 is a prime. Suppose that a square is less than or equals to 4 into p to the power 11, then which of the following statements is true? So four options are: option number 1, f has a 0 on the imaginary axis. Option number 2, f has a 0 for which the real and imaginary parts are equal. Option number 3, f has distinct roots. And option number 4, f has exactly one real root. And so we have to choose one correct option from this 4. And here the question is about the 0 of the given function f of z is equal to z square plus az plus p square. Okay, now let us see the solution. So we will find the solution by checking each option. Okay, so first we will check the option number 1. So we'll check option 1. So given that f has a 0 on the imaginary axis. Imaginary axis means, suppose if we take a complex number z is equals to xi, where real part is 0 and imaginary part is x. So suppose z is equal to say xi. So here this is a imaginary value. So f has a 0 on the imaginary axis. That means f of z is equals to 0. So f of z is equals to 0 means if we substitute this value in the given function f of z, it must be equals to 0. So that implies f of xi is equals to 0. So that is, in place of z we can replace xi. So that is xi whole square plus a into xi plus p to the power 11 is equals to 0. Okay, now we have to simplify this, and here I square means minus 1, so this value is equal to minus x square plus a xi plus p to the power 11 is equals to 0. Okay, now equating real and imaginary parts. So here we have real part is p power 11 minus x square plus axi is equals to 0. Okay, so from this, here p power 11 minus x square is equals to 0 and ax is equals to 0. So here given that a belongs to z minus singleton at 0, that means clearly a is not equals to 0. Since a not equals to 0 and a belongs to z minus singleton at 0, that means a is an integer value. So from this we get clearly x value is equals to 0. So whenever x is equals to 0 and here p power 11 minus x square is equal to 0, that means x square, and we have x square is equal to p power 11. So at the same time x is equal to 0 and x square is equal to p power 11 does not hold. So that option number 1 is wrong. That means f has a 0 on the imaginary axis is a wrong option. So option 1 is wrong. Is it clear? So we can discard option number 1 here, because x value is equal to 0, at the same time x square is equal to p power 11. So it does not hold simultaneously as x equal to 0 and x square is equal to p power 11. So x is equal to, sorry, z is equal to xi is not possible. That means f has a 0 on the imaginary axis is a wrong option. So we can discard option number 1. Okay, now coming to the option number 2. So here option number 2 is f has a 0 for which the real and imaginary parts are equal. Say imaginary value and real part of that complex number are equal. Say if we suppose that z is equal to a complex number whose real value and imaginary parts are equal. If we take z is equal to x plus xi, where real part is x and similarly imaginary part is x, both are equal. So we have to check the option number 2. Okay, so here coming to option number 2, suppose z is equal to x plus xi, means real part is equal to imaginary part, and it is a root of the given function f of z. That means f of z is equals to 0. From this we can write f of x plus xi is equals to 0. Now substitute in place of z x plus xi, we get, that implies x plus xi whole square, that means z square, plus az, means a into x plus xi plus p to the power 11 is equals to 0. Now we have to simplify this one. So by expanding a plus b whole square, this can be written as x square plus 2x square I minus, here I square value is minus 1. So this is minus x square plus ax plus axi plus p to the power 11 is equals to 0. Okay, now taking real parts and imaginary parts, we have here imaginary value is 2x square and here we have ax. So imaginary value is 2x square plus ax into I, plus real part is p power 11 plus ax is equals to 0. Okay, now from this we can get 2x square plus ax is equals to 0 and p power 11 plus ax is equals to 0. Okay, so from this taking x is common, means x is a factor, we get this is 2x plus a is equal to 0 and here we have p power 11 plus ax is equals to 0. So from this we get x is equal to 0 or 2x plus a is equals to 0. So from this we get x is equal to minus a by 2, and here we have p power 11 value is equal to minus a x. Okay, so we have two possibilities, x is equal to 0 and x is equal to minus a by 2. So we'll check the possibilities. If x is equals to 0, then whenever x is equal to 0 we have p power 11 value is equal to minus ax, means minus a into 0. So that value p power 11 is equal to 0. So which is a wrong one, because p power 11 is a prime number. So this is wrong, which is not possible. Okay, not possible because p power 11 is a prime number. So this is not possible. And similarly, if x is equals to say minus a by 2, then p power 11 is equals to, in place of x we can write minus a by 2, so minus of minus plus, so p power 11 is equal to plus a square by 2. So from this, by cross multiplication, we get a square is equal to 2 into p power 11. But given that we have a square is less than or equal to 4 into p power 11. Okay, but a square is less than or equal to 4 times p to the power 11. So this is also not possible. So therefore option number 2 is wrong. Is it clear? Because here, in case whenever x is equal to 0, we got p power 11 is equal to 0, which is not possible because p is a prime number. And similarly, whenever x is equal to minus a by 2, in that case we have p power 11 is equal to a square by 2. From this we get a square is equal to 2 into p power 11. But given that a square is less than or equal to 4 into p power 11, not happen in this case. So option number 2 is wrong. Now we will check option number 3 and option number 4. Okay, so for that we have to take option number 3 is f has distinct roots, and option number 4 is f has exactly one real root. So we will see option number 3 and option number 4. Okay, so for option 3 and option 4. So suppose that here z square plus az plus p power 11 is equal to 0. So we have to find the z value. For that we have to use the formula z is equal to minus b plus r minus square root over b square minus 4ac by 2a, and here here b is equals to what? B equal to a, and a is equal to 1, and c is equals to p power 11. Okay, now substituting these values we get z is equal to minus b means minus a plus r minus square root over b square means here b is a square minus 4a is equal to 1, and c is equal to p power 11. So this is 4 p power 11 by 2. Okay, so here we have less than or equal to 4 into p power 11. A square is less than or equal to 4 into p power 11. So since a square is less than or equal to 4 into p power 11, from this a square minus 4 p power 11 is less than or equals to 0. So we have two possibilities. A square minus 4 p power 11 is equal to 0, and a square minus 4 p power 11 is strictly less than 0. So if a square minus 4 p power 11 equals to 0, then roots are real and equal roots. So then a is a real, and in that case z is equals to, we have, so whenever a square minus 4 p power 11 is equal to 0, that means this term becomes 0. So z value is equal to minus a by 2. But here the quadratic equation, so it has at most 2 roots, and those 2 roots are z is equals to minus a by 2 and minus a by 2. So real and equal roots. Is it clear? So it has 2 real and equal roots. So z is equal to minus a by 2 comma minus a by 2. So therefore our option number 4 is also wrong, because f has exactly one real root. So this is also wrong, and here we are, option number 2 is also wrong. So f has distinct roots. So let us see. So here another possibility is a square minus 4 p power 11 is strictly less than 0. If a square minus 4 p power 11 is less than 0, then when the discriminant is less than 0, we have distinct roots. Then it has distinct roots. So therefore option number 3 is correct. Is it clear? So hence our option number 3 is the correct option. That means f has distinct roots. So this is the solution of this problem. I hope you like this video. If you like the video, please share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for latest updates of my channel. Thanks for watching.